Good morning, Namaste, Pranam to all brothers and sisters. I am Dr. Divakaran, Cochin. My subject is medical science and astrology. And today I am going to speak about, can you reach the highest position in the society by wealth? So wealth is very important. If you have a penny, you are king, but your purse is empty, you are like a beggar. The Dana Yoga are astrological combinations for suppose, if you have wealth, the bank balance will be very high and your pocket will be full of money, then you will be admired by the people. പണത്തിനു മുകളിൽ പരുന്തും പറക്കും. The combinations for wealth and prosperity. These combinations prove fruitful in the presence of a strong Lagna and a strong Lagna Lord. Any benefits combinations with Raja Yoga or Dana Yogas manifest fully only when the Lagna is strong. If your Lagna is not powerful, your moon is not powerful, then the yogas have no power. The second and the 11th house are the ones which are concerned with the earning and accumulation of wealth. Besides these, the trines are considered as the abodes of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Thus, any relationship among these variations, Lord, ensures wealth and prosperity. The Dana Yoga, in their simplest form, may thus occur when there is a mutual relationship between the Lagna Lord on one side and the second or the fifth or the ninth or the 11th Lord on the other side. For combinations, the person may have wealth. The second Lord on one side and the fifth or the ninth or the 11th Lord on the other. 11th is our savings. Second will be the accumulation of wealth, Dana. Second Lord is in the 11th house or 11th Lord is in the Lagna. The person will become very rich and his wealth will be going on. And also the fourth Lord is connected to or aspects to the Lagna Lord. He can enjoy the fruits of the life. The fifth Lord on one side and the ninth or the 11th Lord on the other side. Two combinations. The ninth and fifth house are royal houses of a horoscope. Fifth is our previous Janma. That also gives our children. The ninth Lord on the one side and the 11th Lord on the other side, one combination. This leads to 10 different combinations. There are numerous other combinations mentioned in several texts. All such combinations must be examined in the light of the strength of the constituent planets, their lordships, their placements in the specific house, and the influences of the benefic and malefic planets on them. The moon is powerful. From the moon, the second house has benefic planets. Then the person get Dana Yoga and 12th house also. The Parashara Maharshi, the great, who makes a mention of several other Dana Yogas, some of them are as significance of Venus occupy the fifth house, identical with its own Rashi, that is Vrishaba or Tula, and Mars placed in the Lagna. Mercury occupies the fifth house, identical with its own Rashi, that is Midun and Kanya. And the moon, Mars and Jupiter in the 11th house. The sun occupies the 5th house, identical with its sun Rashi, that is Simha Rashi. And the moon, Jupiter and Saturn in the 11th house. Saturn occupies the 5th house, identical with its sun Rashi, Magar or Kumbha, and that is the first, fourth, 10th or 7th. The person gets Sasamaha Yoga, and the sun and the moon in the 11th house. Jupiter occupying the 5th house, identical with its own Rashi, that is Dhanus or Meena, and Mercury in the 11th house. Mars occupying the 5th house, identical with its own Rashi, Mesha or Vrishchiga, and Venus in the 11th house. The moon in the Karaga in the 5th house, and Saturn in the 11th house. Then the significance of Lagna and its Lord. The sun in Leo Lagna, Simha Lagna, under the influences, aspects, association of Mars and Jupiter. The moon in Karkadaga Lagna, under the influences of Mercury and Jupiter. Mars in its own Rashi, Mesha or Vrishchiga, in the Lagna, under the influences of Mercury, Venus and Saturn. Mercury in its own Rashi, that is Midun and Kanya, in the Lagna, under the influences of Jupiter and Saturn. Venus in its own Rashi, that is Vrishaba and Tula, in the Lagna, under the influences of Mercury and Saturn. Saturn in its own Rashi, Magar or Kumbha, in the Lagna, under the influences of Mars and Jupiter. The houses 5 and 9 are particularly wealth giving houses. Planets associated with these houses or their lords. 9th is luck. So 9th lord is an aspect to the Lagna lord. The person become very wealthy and healthy. And the Dhana yogas, that is Durdura yoga, Kesari yoga, Rujaga Maha yoga, Hamsa Maha yoga, Manavi yoga, Sasamaha yoga. Any of these yogas with the power, as well as the moon is powerful and the 9th lord is powerful, the person will become very rich and popular, and he will get all the comforts in life. Thank you very much. If you like my subject, please subscribe it and the bell button switch on. I'll come tomorrow with other subjects.